But this still doesn't answer the million-dollar question of how was this made? How did the image get onto the cloth? Because in all of the tests, nobody has ever been able to answer that question. So the most scientists can come up with is that it appears that it was made by a high intensity flash of radiation. Okay, a high intensity flash of radiation that yellowed the cloth in the darker images where you see the body, that it yellowed, it aged that cloth faster than the rest of the cloth. So, and also interestingly is that the reason why they knew it wasn't a painting was because the images are only on the surface of the fibers. Like the blood went all the way through the fibers, but the darker images that make up the face and the body were just on the surface. And it isn't something on the surface. It was actually a molecular change in the fibers that creates those darker colored areas. So this is just crazy. How in the world could this happen? So they have actually been able to, scientists have been able to simulate a similar kind of effect on a similar kind of fiber by using lasers, by using laser technology. Obviously something that would have not been able to be done back in the Middle Ages. So, but in order to, what they found is in order to make the image that you see of the man on the shroud, it would have required 14,000 lasers simultaneously blasting the fibers, the fabric, using 34 trillion watts of power. How in the world could that even happen? And it would have had to, it was a massive particle radiation burst from inside the cloth that changed the molecular composition of the fibers. And not only that, 34 trillion watts of power, it could only last 1/40th billionth of a second in order to not just completely destroy the fibers. So how in the world could that happen? Well, if you're a believer in Jesus and God, as I am, then you know how it happened. You know exactly how it happened. Whatever, we don't know the process. Let me get back to my pictures here. We do not know the process that God used to bring Jesus back to life, to when he was resurrected. Trying to get to my right picture here. Here we go. We don't know. God in his infinite power, who knows what he did, but I kind of have a feeling that it had something to do with a high intensity flash of radiation. So however God chose to bring Jesus back to life, it was something amazing. It was something incredibly intense that we can't even fathom. And that, whatever that was, it created the image of Jesus Christ on the shroud that we see today. So, phenomenal. It's just so crazy. So are you convinced? Tell me in the comments, are you convinced, as I am, that this shroud is actually the shroud of Jesus Christ of Nazareth?